Season 2 of the UTEP Dynasty marches on, and today we march into the big house to take on the Michigan Wolverines, who have a vaunted backfield and the number 17 ranking nationally. Welcome back, everybody, to Season 2. We kicked it off last episode, and we went 1-1, losing at Oklahoma and then shutting out our rivals in New Mexico State in our home opener. And that second game was really fun. We got to see this team play to their potential. Rich Belin had a rough game 1 at quarterback, but really settled in here. And so did Relique Brown, who scored this long touchdown and really put his speed on display. But Michigan will potentially be the best team we faced all year, and of course one of the hardest environments. They have 3 running backs rated over 91 overall, including Jalen Buckley, who we played in our bowl game of Season 1, and then 2 more at 89 and 88 overall. Bryce Underwood, of course, is their quarterback. As a sophomore now, has platinum mobile resistance, and he has his Wolverines at 1-1 as well. But let's get right into the action here at Michigan Stadium, where the Wolverines will take the field first. This backfield, while crowded, gives the majority of the carries to Justice Haynes. They will fake it to him on the first play and throw the bubble screen to Andrew Marsh, who has room to run for a first down. Michigan at their own 43-yard line, motioning the tight end out. It's a play action, and the pass is caught! Brady Prescorn all the way for a touchdown. Michigan dials up a shot play not even a minute into the game. And there was some traffic downfield. Cedric Beavers was right in the area, but didn't realize the ball was coming straight at him. And then the tight end Prescorn just sneaks right behind him as Kofi Taylor-Barracks is injured on the extra point. Not a great start here. Crowd roaring as we start with an option pitch to Relique Brown. He's going to take this for 10 as Taylor-Barracks has dislocated his shoulder and will not be returning. 2nd and inches, another pitch to Brown, but they cover it up this time. A loss of 4. Shamari Earls on the stop. Motioning Cash Cheeks and throwing over the middle on 3rd down. Over the head of Brown, nothing there. Back to Underwood and the Wolverines offense. Justice Haynes will take this for a 5-yard gain up the middle. At our 44, Freddie Brock, the backup, makes a great jump cut and bursts upfield for 17. That is not a normal backup running back. And it's Justice Haynes again, making a move to the outside and spinning upfield to the 9. Maybe there is a method to their madness recruiting all these running backs. We do stop Haynes in the backfield. That's Jaden Wilson on the stop. 2nd and goal at the 11. Underwood, shotgun, takes off up the middle and slides at the 6. Empty backfield, and they go 5 wide. Underwood, back of the end zone, and a jump ball falls incomplete. That's Cedric Beavers guarding Samaj Morgan. And a 23-yard field goal right down the middle. Already down 2 scores, less than halfway through the first quarter. Squiggly lines as we try to settle down. Pass caught by Cash Cheeks. Gain of 7. Relique Brown up the middle, finds a crease. Up to the 42-yard line. We're going to need him today. Brown running off left tackle and pushing forward. At midfield, 2nd and 2. Rich Belin into some pressure, finds Cheeks near the sideline. I've really enjoyed him as an underneath safety blanket so far this season. Screen pass to Ty Clark II. Goes nowhere. And we're stuck with a 3rd down and 15. Belin empty. Over the middle, it's caught. Raphael Campbell, I've been mispronouncing his name this entire time, makes a catch to make a 4th and manageable. And we will go for this 4th and 3. Belin finds Campbell again. And he's into the red zone. 2 catches on 2 straight plays. And Rich will drop back again and deliver it on the money to Jalen Brown for a 1st down inside the 5. And we go back to the ground. It's Brown. Can't beat the defense to the pylon. In the pistol now, it's a handoff to Noah Stevenson. The blocking tight end fullback hybrid scores another touchdown for us. He's really impressed me in those short yardage, goal line situations. 10-7. As this is going to be another big play for Michigan. Frederick Moore makes a man miss. That was Devin Harold. And a play action for Underwood. Caught off the deflection. You can't be serious. Samaj Morgan is right there to catch it after the pass ricocheted off the hands of Prescorn. This was actually the exact same play-action shot play that gave Prescorn the opening touchdown. And they target Prescorn again, but it ends up finding Morgan. Unreal, as Raphael Campbell makes another grab. 2 running backs in the formation. Belin will look for one of them. Raleek Brown gets down. Nice catch, setting up a 3rd and 2, and Brown will convert it. Already 11 carries for the ASU transfer. And this pass is risky. Could have been picked off. Jair Hill got in the way of it. And that will force us to punt it away. This is Samaj Morgan on the slant. And he takes it for a 1st down as Jaden Wilson is down on the field. Not what you want to see from a guy who broke his leg last season. Nice pass breakup by Beavers, as it's only an ankle bruise for Wilson. As Justice Haynes will bounce it to the outside and pick up a decent chunk. Tay Brown now hurt. So our defense getting banged up in Ann Arbor. Haynes will run through a tackle attempt from Devin Harold and pick up the 1st. Jaden Wilson, Bo Phillips also shaken up, as well as Tay Brown. So we are very, very thin at linebacker. We already were before any injuries. As Frederick Moore makes a big catch. It's another handoff to Justice Haynes, makes a move. And another 1st down. The Michigan run game is unstoppable so far. 1st down, it's a pass to Haynes, powering past the goal line. Touchdown Michigan, and they go up 24-7. They've had more than just the running game working for them so far. Bryce Underwood over 200 yards passing, and we have just been left without an answer. Cass Cheeks with a decent pickup, and he will get another catch. Out in the flats, he picks up a 1st down. Into Wolverine territory. Here's Belin back to pass. Looking short, it's Brown to the 39. Empty backfield. Belin will look down the sideline for Brown. The running back trying to use his speed to get vertical. And it didn't work. But we do convert another 4th down and call timeout. With 50 seconds remaining, we have 2 left. Belin swarmed and sacked. Back to the 35. Definitely need to get closer than that due to our kicking issues. And Cass Cheeks can't haul in that pass. Would have done a lot for our field goal chances, and we're pushed out of range entirely. Terrible blocking. And Belin is sacked again. We're just going to run this all the way down to 2 seconds. We're not in field goal range, but we are in Hail Mary range. Why not let it fly? Rich Belin looking long and not able to get it to the end zone. It's caught by Cheeks. Now he makes a catch, but it ends up being all for naught. A very frustrating first half, to say the least. That Samaj Morgan touchdown was a lot like the Ricardo Lewis Auburn touchdown against Georgia. We just could not catch a break. Let's get through a quick recruiting update before we get on to the second half. I have added another 3-star receiver to the board after Cam Clements locked us out with the deal breaker. Brad Boyachich from Lufkin, Texas, a contested specialist, has 80 catch in traffic, 78 short route, 83 spec catch. I think he's a great prospect for us. I still think I would prefer Cam Clements. The goal is still to win him back over again by winning some games, which is definitely possible, but I did think it was fair to get some insurance if Clements ended up not working out. I don't know though, we're going to have to make up a lot of ground here. He is visiting next week. Hopefully that can at least get us into the top 3. We've also scheduled a visit for the week after that with Reggie Molinaro, the 1-star speedster receiver. All right, back to Ann Arbor. Down 17 as we get the ball first in the half, and a screen pass to Ty Clark III. Will go for a big gain. 30 yards to be exact. Maybe that's the spark we needed. Belin playing well so far, 17 of 25, over 200 yards now, as Clark makes a nice move at the end of that run to get past the markers. 3rd and 4 from the 29, pass over the middle, wide open. Jalen Brown gets us to the 11. And a quick score here could change the complexion of the game. Belin looking short, it's Raphael Campbell. 4th catch of the day. 3rd and 3, Eduardo Polanco trying to truck his way for the first down, but he cannot. And the offense still out for 4th and 1. We stay aggressive. It is a triple option. Brown is stopped short. TJ Metcalf had the pitch covered. And we do not have the size and strength to be calling that play in a short yardage situation, I think, especially on the road against Michigan. They had pretty much every option in that triple option covered up. 2nd and 12, we had them pinned, but Justice Haynes gets them some breathing room. He has been very shifty today. Play action, Underwood finds his tight end in the flat. And the Wolverines continue to march. Here's Underwood continuing to work the play action game and firing a strike to Frederick Moore. Near midfield, a screen pass on the left side. That is Marsh for a gain of 7. 2 tight ends set, and shrugging off a man, Underwood hangs in there and throws a dot to Marsh. Incredible play by the sophomore, whose yards per completion are over 20 right now, as Haynes is tripped up just short. 50 seconds to go in the quarter. Can we stop Haynes? Yes, we can. Slowed down by Garrett Hawkins and brought down by Jordan Shaw. And we force a field goal. Finally, something goes our way, but we are still down by 20 points. Yet to score in the second half. 3rd down and 1. A draw play going absolutely nowhere. They sent the heat on that 3rd and short. And we have no choice but to go for this 4th and 7. 1 high safety. Belin will look over the middle, and it's batted down. That was not the right read for Belin, who has done his best today, but still not quite ready to perform at the highest level in situations like this, as Justice Haynes will put us to bed. Touchdown from 10 yards out, and Michigan takes a 27-point lead. And we're not even able to do anything on our next possession. Right back to Michigan. Haynes up the middle again. He's in for the 3rd time today. And we get closer and closer to our second loss of the season. Wolverine ball once again. Our offense just going nowhere today. We do get an interception. Jordan Shaw, at least giving us something positive to take away. One of our top transfers in the offseason, making a great play there, high pointing the football. Raleek Brown still getting carries, and got to be careful. He's facing some wear and tear. Doesn't have the highest injury rating, so probably not a great idea to have him in the game in this situation if you want to be able to use him later in the season. We already learned that lesson with Hassan Wilson last year, as we try to have something good on offense to close out the day. Pass caught by Raphael Campbell. Continues to have a solid day. Rich Belin continuing to drop back and find receivers underneath. That's Wandami Davis Jr., another player who I've been mispronouncing this whole time. Davis again nearly picks up the first at the 37-yard line. Belin will look to the pylon, and this is nearly caught. Eduardo Polanco had it in his two hands, but just let it slip through. That could have been his Jimmy Childress Week 1 moment right there. We do pick up the first down, continuing to move down the field. 2:19 to go. Belin looking short. It's Jalen Brown continuing to keep the starters in, as Belin has dropped back 53 times today. Completes to Davis again. At least Belin's interception free. Under 2 minutes, here's Belin looking for Brown. On the money for a touchdown. Great route, great throw, great catch. And even though we were severely outmatched today, we did show glimpses of the team that we can become. I would say this was a better showing than our loss to Oklahoma in the opener. In fact, a much better showing. 41-14, the final score does not really indicate that though. But the good news is it gets a lot easier from here. We are not going to face a team even close to Michigan's level for the rest of the season. And at the very least, we had more first downs than the Wolverines, 22-19. We were also able to protect the football in a hostile environment, no turnovers. But I would really like to see this running game get going, and I'm hoping that it looks more like it did in week 2 most weeks, as opposed to what it looked like today. Cass Cheeks actually got over 100 receiving yards. Nice to see him forming chemistry with Rich Belin. But look at the amount of drops we had. That is 7 in total. It has definitely been an adjustment playing with this new receiving core. I don't think it's the worst receiving core ever. They've shown flashes, but the fact remains that it is nothing like it was in year 1. On defense, we were actually not able to record a sack, which is quite rare for us. We did get an interception from Jordan Shaw. And the pancakes count is always a reminder of how much work we have to do on this team. The Wolverines got 61 pancakes against us, and we have 9. Checking out some scores from around the conference. Our opponent in 2 weeks, San Jose State, we're actually going to open our conference season against them. They are undefeated after 3 games, beating Hawaii by 19. UNLV also getting a 31-23 win over Air Force. We will see the Rebels and former UTEP quarterback Malachi Nelson later this season. Before we get to conference play though, we will play one more non-conference game against Texas State, who just took a loss to Virginia. Around the top 25, it is Miami beating Notre Dame in the biggest matchup of the week. Both teams now 3-1, with Miami getting the road win and now taking the number 9 spot in the country. Advancing now to the next week, Brad Boyachich has put us in his top 3, but look at the ground we still need to make up with Houston and Rice. That is not good news for us, as we just took another loss, which puts our championship contender grade at D. Cam Clements is still locking us out because of that. So if we don't get our act together, we could very easily lose out on both of these 3-star receivers. The good news is Brad Boyachich is visiting this game, and he currently has an A- playing time grade for us, which should make for a very effective visit. And there are 2 other players who are visiting with Boyachich, one of them being the other 3-star we're targeting in right tackle Miles Isaac. And for the purposes of the complimentary visit boost, he'll also be joined by running back Bernie Muhort. And here we are in week 4, a battle of 1 and 2 squads, thankfully back in our home stadium. The Texas State Bobcats have been improving as a program as of late, as they were actually able to stay within 1 score of Texas on the road, and then they also lost by 1 score to Virginia. So they may be better than their record suggests. They have a solid amount of depth on the team and a 79 overall quarterback in J.C. French, as well as some skill talent starting with 83 overall running back A.J. Newberry, as well as backup Trey Cornist. And then they have a star receiver in Bo Sparks. I do not think he has any relation to Colt Sparks, surprisingly enough, even though they used to play on the same team. And then they have Parker Livingstone, who transferred from Texas to Texas State. A very interesting offense. Oh yeah, and then they got Jelani Watkins, who is a 99 speed track star. This is a very, very interesting offense. Also, shout out to Ty Uhas, which is a player that I tried to recruit in the transfer portal, ended up picking Texas State, but we will not be facing him today, as he is out with a dislocated ankle. Alright, second game of the day underway now as we try to split the episode 1-1. Back in our home stadium, here's Raleek Brown, who lined up out wide and catches it for a first down. Belin out of the pistol. He's done that a lot this season. And he finds the other Brown, Jalen, gains 9. Nearly at midfield, we go speed option now, and a late pitch, nearly fumbled away. And Raleek Brown saves possession. Man, those options have a lot of big play potential, but they can also go wrong really easily. Ty Clark III gets open on the Texas route. And we are just spamming that right now. Here's another one to Raleek Brown, who spins to the outside and moves the chains. 54 pass attempts for Belin. Last game, we'll see if we can keep it on the ground a little bit more this time. But Belin continues to march us down the field. 61 passing yards on the opening drive. Here's a play action, and he's got a lot of room, and he will walk into the end zone. A surgical opening drive for the Miners. Man, when we've gone up against Group of 5 competition so far, we have looked excellent. As we stop the running back, A.J. Newberry, short of the line of scrimmage. And here is 3rd and 13. J.C. French delivers a dot, nearly at the sticks, but just short. And they punt it away. And here we got the ball at midfield, a slant, caught by Jalen Brown. Spread formation on 3rd and short. A weak box, Brown will get it up the middle, and a huge hole up to the 22. If you're giving us a 5-man box like that on 3rd and short, we're taking what you're giving us. Ty Clark eats up 4 yards up the middle. Empty backfield for Belin on 2nd down. He'll look left, and he'll have Raphael Campbell, who hits the spin move upfield. 7-yard line, Raleek Brown with the carry. And he will get us to the 4. And stuff from behind is Ty Clark, setting us back to the 7 for 3rd and goal. Belin will pass, and nothing was open on that play. We will have to settle for a 24-yard field goal as Noah Botsford comes out, and he knocks it through. We have to hold our breath even on routine kicks like that, but thankfully that went well. J.C. French to the flat for his tight end. Samaj Parker will pick up the first down. Shotgun for French over the middle, caught by Parker again. He'll get them close, and then they go to the ground on third down. We're all over it. Sean Bush got there first, but we're going to have to stop them on this 4th down and 2. Clock running down on the first. Pass over the middle. It's off the helmet of somebody, and it drops incomplete. A lot of traffic in the middle of the field. The receivers were crossing each other's paths, and a miscommunication leads to a turnover on downs. Can we take advantage? Raleek Brown, a first down on the screen pass already at 35 yards receiving. Wandami Davis wide open inside the hashes. First down, 16-yard reception. And they are just leaving the middle wide open for us, play after play. Brown with another big run. Belin rolling to the right, looking downfield, and a bad decision. Should have been intercepted by Byron Carmona. And a 3rd down and goal from the 9. Belin looking for his running back. Brown breaks a tackle, and he's in. The star running back continues to dazzle. Nearly 90 all-purpose yards already. He has been hard to catch and hard to bring down. He made that play all by himself. Bad tackle attempt from the linebacker right there. And just like that, we're up 16-0. And a fumble in the backfield. We're on it. Jaden Wilson recovers the ball after Tay Brown forced J.C. French to cough it up. And here's the replay. Sometimes those fumble calls just don't work the way they should in this game. That should be overturned, but we end up getting the ball anyway. And another nasty spin move by Brown. Gains 3. Another chance to score and go up 4 scores here in the first half as Belin takes off for a first down scramble. We go stick on 1st and goal from the 6. Pass caught by Brown. Oh my! He continues to outdo himself as Raleek Brown has put on an absolute clinic today, putting the defense on skates with the spin. And he has his 2nd receiving touchdown in just the span of a few minutes. And why not go up by 24 points with a 2-point conversion? Belin intercepted. Not the right play there. He had a clean pocket. Could have waited for someone to break open, but he just got a little bit trigger happy. 22-0 though. Can't complain. With 5:45 to go in the half, we're going to get the ball back after a 3 and out. Belin over the middle. This is caught by Campbell into Bobcat territory. After a penalty sets us back on first down, here's Brown getting to the edge, breaking out the spin once more. He has 60 rushing yards already. And this is dropped. Wandami Davis couldn't hold on. And we could go for a 48-yard field goal. I don't know if I trust our kicker to do that. We're going to go for it. Empty set and a big hit on Campbell. Turns us over on downs. Texas State did a great job covering underneath routes. Nobody open on that play. Maybe our play calling getting a little too predictable, but shouldn't be a problem because our defense has been absolutely dominant. Under the 2-minute mark, and pressure on French forces him to just get the ball out. They have gotten absolutely nothing on offense so far. Belin up the seam. This is caught by Cash Cheeks. Excellent game for Belin so far. And what a throw and what a catch. Belin continues to deal. And this time it's Jalen Brown up the seam. 30 to go in the half, and he tries to fit it into a really tight window. So close. Man, if he made that throw, that would have got some NFL scouts to turn their heads. As Noah Botsford will set up from 42 yards out. Not a whole lot of power on that kick, but he does get it to go. Final play of the first half. JC French pressure, breaks the sack, has some room to run, breaks another tackle, he fumbles, and it's recovered by Texas State. We have not made anything easy for the Bobcats in this game. 25-0 at the half. And we already had a shutout win 2 weeks ago. Could we be headed for another one? I am really excited about the future of this core. To think we're only going to get better from here, as the Bobcats will finally get a big chunk on the RPO pass to Logan Kyle. JC French looking near the sticks, and that is the star receiver Bo Sparks. Has been quiet so far today. Play action, French looking for Kyle, he's got it. Best throw from French all day. 3rd and 6 in the red zone. French will go down. Sean Bush gets through to sack him. We bend but don't break. And Heath Ward will come on to put Texas State on the board with the field goal. 8:10 to go in the third quarter. It's a handoff to Brown. Lots of space up the middle. Well blocked by our offensive line. I didn't think our offensive line would be a strength of our team, but they've actually looked better than they did in year one. Oh, Rich Belin just brought the boom, trucking a defender, finishing his run with authority. At the 40-yard line, here's Raleek Brown on the Texas route, his 6th catch of the day. He continues to dominate, and we're going to give it to him again on the stretch run. Makes a couple tacklers miss. 88 rushing yards. He is going to have some eye-popping stats at the end of this game. Belin now over 200 yards passing. Checking all the boxes here. Belin finds Jalen Brown over the middle, but gives himself up just short of the sticks. And on 3rd and inches, Raleek Brown hits the hole and will give us a first down at the 5. As Belin looking to pass, and he's got Wandami Davis Jr. for the touchdown. That is a really fun route concept to use in the red zone and at the goal line. And an excellent zig route run by Davis to put us up 32-3. And this is a nice run by Newberry. Got the majority of his yards on that run. JC French with time to throw, and he delivers right over the head of the linebackers. 5th catch for the number 2 tight end, Parker. Read option, a keeper for French, hit hard. And they're actually going to punt this away from the 38-yard line down by 29. Waving the white flag as UTEP looks headed for another dominant home victory. Belin will tuck and run once more and picks up the first down on his own, 45 rushing yards. Empty formation, Belin into a blitz. He's got Taylor Perez open in the middle and off to the races. The fastest receiver on the squad, running away from the man coverage, and we are pouring it on. This defense just looks dejected. They just go for the all-out blitz there. No help for number 11, who gets absolutely cooked on the play. Taylor Perez is definitely someone who plays above his overall rating. And boy, do we look dominant. Texas State has their backups in. That is Holden Gerner. And now he will drop back, throw up the seam, and it's caught! And breaking free! Touchdown for Texas State. That is Eric Reddick. a 74 overall backup receiver who just mossed Jordan Shaw, our #1 cornerback. Wow. And here is Logan Kyle with the reception, as Texas State has finally got some offensive momentum right now with Gerner in the game. Another completion. 5:55 to go. Sean Bush giving chase. He gets around him. Gerner looks really good as he marches the Bobcats into the red zone. Gerner to pass. He's got a man. It's Reddick again. That was a very tight window that he fitted into. 5 for 5, 102 yards and 2 touchdowns for Holden Gerner. Making a case for the starting job right now as Lance Barnes gets a carry. Colt Sparks in at QB, and he delivers up the seam to Taylor Perez for his 2nd touchdown. So a battle of the 4th or 5th string receivers with Reddick and Perez near the end of this game. The final score will be 45-17. UTEP on top. And Rich Belin has only gotten more and more comfortable with every subsequent game, and this is the best he's looked. 5 touchdowns combined in the air and on the ground. He only had to throw the ball 32 times today. We were a lot more balanced, although we did still pass more than we ran. But really the end-to-end dominance that we have beaten Texas State and New Mexico State with really makes me excited about this team going forward for the rest of Season 2 and beyond. Our passing game looks good, even though our receivers aren't the highest rated, and our running game looks good, even though our offensive line isn't the highest rated. And then the defense is just really good all around. Our secondary is much improved. We have a proper middle linebacker in Tay Brown, and the defensive line has really impressed me so far. Sean Bush has really stepped up in the absence of KD Johnson and Cole Gustafson. Just a really good spot to be in as we head into conference play. Of course, getting beat up by Oklahoma and Michigan wasn't fun, but at the same time, we're battle-tested now. We've seen the hardest environments to play in, and the teams we've played that aren't on that level, we have absolutely demolished. On to some scores from Week 4. Oregon loses to UCLA, who remains undefeated in the 2nd season of Nico Iamaleava. And get this, Oregon's quarterback is not Dante Moore anymore, it's Jaden Maiava, who transferred from USC and beat out Moore for the starting job. Mind you, Moore literally won the national championship last season and broke the all-time single-season passing record for the school. And I think they might be regretting their decision to bench him now, as Maiava goes 8 for 21 against the Bruins. The #1 team right now is Alabama, as they put up 49 points on Florida, the championship runner-ups from last season. Their quarterback is Noah Fifita from Arizona, and he has been absolutely phenomenal. My goodness, Ryan Williams, 246 and 2 scores. Indiana and UConn played an overtime thriller, and the 10th-ranked Hoosiers avoid the upset here, 45-44, as Fernando Mendoza goes for 6 touchdowns. And the Huskies might be a team to watch out for, as Caden Anderson looked really good against a Big Ten opponent. Oh no! What happened, Malachi Nelson? UNLV loses to FCS West. Okay, it looks like it wasn't exactly his fault, as Nelson ran for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. Man, these sim stats are absolutely unhinged. 10 broken tackles too, and a long of 80. How the heck did this man lose? He did not have as much success in the passing game, just 235 yards. Didn't throw an interception though. I still have no idea how this happened. The defense must be dreadful. As we move around the Mountain West, Air Force defeats San Jose State. The Spartans are our next opponent, They've got one of the better quarterbacks in the conference. They were looking like one of the better teams in the conference, but they get absolutely shut down by the Falcons. On now to week 5, and we do get a commitment from one of the players who visited, Bernie Muhort, a 1-star running back. And the other 2 visits were from Miles Isaac and Brad Boyachich. Miles Isaac still favors us as he enters his top 3 stage. Unfortunately, though, Brad Boyachich has locked us out. The visit and the blowout victory still was not enough to get us to 2nd place. And he is now in a recruiting battle with those top 2 schools, Houston and Rice. We're going to keep a close eye on this championship contender deal breaker and try to get it as high as possible. We will end the episode at D+, which is not enough to convince Cam Clements to come play for us. But if we're able to string together some wins, I like our chances there. Right now we are 82nd in that grade. Next episode, we finally begin Mountain West play for the first time in UTEP history. And we will face the San Jose Spartans, who come off that loss to Air Force, but were able to beat UNLV and Hawaii handily, thanks in large part to a great quarterback in Adam Matthews and a good tight end in Cooper Flanagan. These 2 make up one of the best quarterback-receiver duos rating-wise in the entire conference, and I expect them to be quite pass-happy as their starting running back Byron Slayton is out with a broken toe. Overall, though, this is a very deep team, at least for Mountain West standards. They have 7 players rated 80 or higher, plenty of skill position talent. Malachi Riley is their top receiver with 91 speed and very good hands, not the most impressive route runner though. And on defense, Paul Fitzgerald is hurt. He would have been their top pass rusher. We will have to worry about Dylan Phelps, their number 1 corner. But I'm very excited for this game, as despite the loss, San Jose State looks like one of the better rosters in a fairly weak conference. So this will be a very good preview of what's to come in the Mountain West. We get a 2nd consecutive home game for the first time this season, and if we play anywhere close to the way we played against the Aggies and the Bobcats, we're going to be very difficult to beat. Thank you all for watching this 2nd episode of Season 2 of the UTEP Dynasty. I'm really happy with how I was able to keep this one short. Condensing 2 games and all of the roster management stuff in between games into a video less than 50 minutes is not an easy task, but my goal is to keep making these videos as high quality and as bingeable as I can possibly make them. I appreciate the support I've gotten on the series, and I hope it continues. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate a subscription if you haven't already, like the video, leave a comment with some feedback, turn post notifications on while you're at it, and recommend me to a friend. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back with more UTEP Dynasty in no time.